formed with notaries, and all of them have to be signed. It's just a native function of the way Holochain works. So I put that out as a comment because I think your point is exactly valid. And that's how we deal with it, is we say there is experience by some recorder.
Right, to which I would simply say yes, and you have to choose your battles. So asking sources of data to sign stuff, as in the verifiable credentials work that I've been involved in for 6+ years, is one way to choose your battle. Holochain might have their own version of that. I chose the UMA, GANAP, IETF standards track for choosing that battle. Yeah, there are many ways to skin this cat. I don't think it's essential. My only point was to simply point out that there are worlds where you have to copy the data and worlds where you don't. And we shouldn't lose track. We could talk about network effects and large language models till we're blue in the face. And we should come back to large language models at some point before the end, because I'm curious to hear what people in the group think about that. But it takes two to tango. So you have to get those resource servers, those issuers, whatever you want to call them, to play the game with you if you want to have an agent that's useful. That was my point.
So I think a tentative hand from Natalia and Matthew.
I'm just listening, reacting with my emotional state, but have nothing to add. Large language models. Let's see where this conversation goes.
I was just going to reinforce the thermometer example that Eric gave. The way I often tell that story is, it's not just that the two thermometers are calibrated differently. It's like, what is the temperature in the room depends on where you are in the room. Mm-hmm. If you're near the window, it's a little different than if you're near the heater, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All these things are approximations, and that at the end of the day, what we're really talking about is some sort of transformation of signal from one form into another. And there is an agent, an entity that is doing that transformation of signal, whether that's a thermometer or a Matthew. So I'll leave it there.
Maybe we should shift to the LLM piece of this, although I also would be curious at some point if anyone here, maybe Eric, one of the Holochain folks, could compare to Noster's architecture. Do you know enough to make that comparison? I know they use relay servers